Hello guys, welcome to another video. Today I am going to assemble a gaming PC under 1 lakh rupees. This video is made in collaboration with Sigma Peripherals. They are the leading computer part retailers in Indore. Do visit their shop. So let's start making the PC. Okay, so for motherboard we are going to use Gigabyte B450M S2H motherboard, which comes under the price of 6300 rupees. Let's do its unboxing. So in the box we get one IO shield, two SATA cables, a motherboard. Let's keep it aside. A manual and a DVD for its drivers. So the motherboard comes with the anti-static packaging. Let's open the package first. Always use this packaging while assembling parts on your motherboard, so that it will be a little safer for your motherboard, as it won't get any static charges from the ground on which you are placing your motherboard. Okay, so let's talk about the CPU. We are using AMD Ryzen 7 3700X, which comes with 8 core 16 thread. The price of the CPU is 28,000 rupees. It supports up to 4.4 GHz of maximum turbo boost and comes with the base boost of 3.6 GHz. It has 32 MB of cache, and it's an unlocked processor. You can overclock it, but we are using a B450 motherboard, so we are not going to overclock it because the motherboard won't support that much of overclocking on it. So this CPU comes with its stock cooler, which is an ISM RGB cooler, which has a good cooling technology. But if you are going to overclock your CPU, so I would suggest that you should go for better cooling solutions like using an AIO or water cooling. This cooler comes with two cables for its ARGB controlling. And comes with the pre-applied thermal paste. Let's put it aside and open our processor and see how it looks. So this processor comes with pins, unlike Intel processor which do not come with pins. Here is the CPU, which looks beautiful. Okay, so let's install the CPU in the motherboard. To install the CPU in the motherboard, you should match the triangle on the socket of the CPU in the motherboard with the golden dot on the CPU and align it with. Do not press it hard on the socket, otherwise you may break the pin. Install it very gently and then lock it with the latch. Installing its stock cooler on the motherboard is comparatively easy than installing the stock cooler of Intel, as it has some good locks to hold it compared to those plastic locks of Intel stock cooler. So I will go with this stock cooler, and I think its heatsink is also good, so it will provide you better heat dissipation. For storage we are going with 2 TB of hard disk and 500 GB of NVMe SSD from Crucial. It comes around the price tag of 5500 rupees both in online and offline market, so you won't get that much of difference in price. It performs up to the speed of 2000 Mbps of read speed and 1700 Mbps of write speed respectively, and it is a PCIe Gen 3 across 4 times the interface. Be very good at performance. Installing it is very simple. You just need to follow the steps which I'm going to perform here. Make sure you install your SSD properly by confirming that it is properly inserted in its slot. Then gently press it on your motherboard and then tighten up the screw which you opened up before. For RAM we are going with Kingston HyperX, which is a 16 GB RAM, DDR4 3200 MHz. It comes under the cost of 5150 rupees. Inserting your RAM is very easy. Just open up this latch of the RAM slots. Then align your RAM with the slot and insert it properly until you hear the click sound from both the latches. For the case we are going with Cooler Master Masterbox K510L RGB mid-tower gaming cabinet, which has two pre-installed fans. In the front it is an ARGB fan, in the back, or I should say rear, it is non-RGB fan. It comes under the price of 4000 rupees, so I think it's worth the money. But I think they should have included one more fan for better airflow. It comes with a tempered glass and no shroud included in it for PSU. You can mount up to 240 mm of radiator on its top. So as I have shown you almost all the parts except the graphic card and the power supply, let's start building our PC. Install the IO shield first. Align your IO ports of the motherboard with the IO shield and place your motherboard properly. Make sure you don't scratch your motherboard from the bottom with the cabinet. So let's install the screw in our motherboard so our motherboard stay intact with the cabinet and don't come off easily. Make sure you install all these screws in your motherboard so that your motherboard don't bend when you're trying to install something on your motherboard. In the back of the cabinet you can see that we have plenty of space for our cable management, but no rubber dockets included in it with the cabinet. So let's install the power switch cable and power LED cable in the motherboard and USB cable for our USB port of the cabinet. Make sure you put the right cable in the right port. Like negative sign cable should be aligned with the negative port and positive sign should be aligned with the positive port. Okay, so for the power supply we are going for P650E from the Gigabyte, which is a 650 watt power supply. It is a 80 plus Bronze certified power supply. Comes with a 12 volt single rail, Japanese capacitors, and comes under the price point of 4700 rupees. Personally, I will choose a Corsair TV 650 watt, which I am currently using in my rig, which is also a good power supply and it supports from 100 to 240 volts of input. So if there is a voltage fluctuation, you can easily bear with it. So this power supply comes with a 120 mm of fan and all the cables are braided cable, no sleeved cables are included in this. So cable management may be a little tough for you with this power supply as they are not modular and they are also braided. So I will install the power supply in this cabinet and will do some cable management with the help of the employees at Sigma Peripherals, and see you after that. So you can look at the cable management done by the employees of Sigma Peripherals. They are very good at their job and they know how to do cable management. They have shown me some good tricks how to do cable management properly, and you can see how neat and clean this cabinet looks. So for the graphics card we are going with GeForce RTX 2070 Super from Gigabyte. I know you must be wondering why I didn't went for 3060 Ti. So again, it was a customer's request to go with this GPU, otherwise we would have gone with the 3060 Ti also. So this GPU is a factory overclocked edition, and I think this GPU will give you a good performance at 1080p ultra settings at almost all the AAA titles, but with the date tracing on, I think it will give you a little low performance. Inside this box we get one user manual and one DVD writer for its drivers, nothing else. And here is our graphics card, nothing else inside the box. Let's unwrap the graphic card. So this GPU comes with 3 fans and massive heat sink for better cooling of the GPU. It comes with 8 plus 6 pin power connector for its power input, and comes with 3 DP and 1 HDMI port. This GPU also has an SLI option, but our motherboard won't support it because it has only one PCI slot. So let's install the GPU in our system. After installing the GPU in the motherboard, then we will need to plug in the power cable, which is one 8-pin PCI power cable and one 6-pin power cable. So that's how our system looks after the complete build. Let's turn it on. So it does look beautiful with those RGB fans. I know you must be wondering like why we use B450 motherboard with the Ryzen 7 3700X and why we went for RTX 2070. Well, it was all customers' demand, and yeah, we have to fulfill its demand. So yeah, Sigma peripherals are very good at fulfilling your demands if you have your own requirements, but they are also good at suggesting you like what kind of PC or PC component or laptop you should get at particular price point. So all the details of their shop is in the description. You should visit the shop if you want something related to your computer or a new laptop. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you like my video. Do like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye bye.